This is Irontrader, and this is the last call of the day. So we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas. And we'll take a look at the indexes, which are mainly red today on Turnaround Tuesday. At the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy selling stock market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Here we have Bitcoin. All right, daily, weekly chart. Now you can see here how we're holding up very, very nicely. Let me just pick this up a little bit for you. Okay, there we go. Now you're talking. Okay, now you can see here where we went below that 50-day and we closed above it nice. Yesterday we went below, made a lower low, but closed above the 50-day, and the same thing happening here. Very, very nice. So you can see how important that 50-day is at 115.714. That is going to be very, very key support level. Now, if we lose that, here comes your next level at 114.338. That's your 8-day. Then we have your 21-day sitting here at 113.291 level, all right? So that everything looking very, very nice because your price now is above all those nice simple movings average, except for your 100-day and your 200-day, which are way down here. So basically, we're above everything, looking very, very good. Now, again, if we lose that key 21-day here, we can follow the candles down. You're looking at 111.230 level. We come down here 111.15. We come here at 110.480. Then we were looking for that 110.24 level, which is your 100 SMA. But right now here, that price is above all your simple moving average, looking very, very nice. Now, you want to keep your eye on those futures here at 6 p.m. Simple reason is, see how this 8-day crossed over 21-day? Now, this is not going to be sitting here at 114.34 level. When those futures open up at 6, that is going to be much higher. If we can get it towards that 50-day, we can push this price up nicely. Now, today we made this high of 117.335. What we're looking at here is 117.320 level. Okay, so this is where we're going to be looking. Now, your next level we're going to be looking for is going to be right here at 117.640. Now, we keep right on rolling. We're going to come up here at 118.350, which is basically right there. And then we're going to come up top of that candle at 119.810. Then we'd venture up 127.55, look to the left, 121.255, sticky here at 122.955, and then we'll come up here at 123.615, made just a little bit higher than that, 123.755, and this is your big target right here, 125.200. Now we crack that, you're going to hit that goal pretty quick, I would think, after all this consolidation to 130 to 135, and you could push this all the way up to 150 very, very easily. Now, there's a guy I listen to, Tom Lee. Very, very good. This guy's been absolutely dead nuts on everything that he's been saying. He's looking for 200,000 here by the end of the year. So I'm in BITX. Okay, that's when I own it and I also trade it. Now, the key to BITX is it pays about a 14% dividend right now, but it pays it monthly. So 62 cents a share. So if you're in by the 25th, okay, however shares you have, you're going to get paid 62 cents a share and you'll get paid on the 28th. Very, very nicely. So great, good incentive to hold on to the old BITX. Now, you can also trade if you want a one-to-one. A lot of people like the little juice like I like it, but IBIT is also a very, very nice one, easy to trade. BlackRock owns it, 52 billion in assets, not going anywhere, but I think eventually up higher, much higher. Okay, so here we have 55. We got plenty of room to run to the upside. The green is over your red, showing very, very nice. The key to this whole situation is holding that 50-day, holding that 8-day, and then holding that 21-day scenario. But again, as this 8-day moves up, it crossed over that 21-day, this is going to provide very, very good support and maybe push this price right on up here nicely. Okay, so we look at the weekly. Look how nice this is. Came right on down, held that 21-day on a closing basis on a weekly, and now we're above this 8-day. So this is the key. By Friday, 115.60. That's what we want to hold, and definitely want to hold at 110.775. Now you can see here you're only sitting at 62. You got plenty of room to go on the upside. The green is below your red, but that can curl up. Let's just see if we can take this higher. Now remember, we had this double top situation, but if we get above that 125, this was going to rip real nicely. I say I'm still looking for that 130, 135 area is what we'll be targeting at. Okay, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. Here we have gold and silver futures. Okay, so you can see here today, we made a nice little high on this bad boy, okay? See, we made a nice little high. So right now you close at 37 at 25 level, okay? So we're looking right here, this 37.15. We were looking for that 37 level. And then this was that recent high, that spike high, 37.15. But then look at what we had yesterday, okay? 37.24. And now today we ran all the way up to 37.39. To keep on going, I'm looking, obviously, these round kind of a numbers, 3750. You're looking for 3800 and then maybe even 3820 that you could rally up to. All right. But let's just see how to say right now we have ourselves what's called an indecision candle. So you got to be just a little bit careful. And right up here, this is very, very overbought condition. And same way with here up on your MACD. Now your green is over your red, shows damn good momentum to the upside until that curls over. All right. Now again, a lot of this stuff here, the gold, the silver, I always use it almost like a fear factor kind of situation. And we're going into that Fed meeting, and it's not going to be, remember, that's not going to be just a Fed meeting and they say, oh, I'm going to cut a quarter point. That's not, everybody knows that, okay? I think everybody's got that, all the traders got that factored in. I think what they're looking for is what are they going to be doing in the next two meetings? Are they going to, cut again? Or are they going to watch watch all the info? Or what exactly? You can be watching for that language at that speech at 2:30. All right, downside here, we definitely want to hold that right there is that 8-day. We lose that key level, 36.82, and come right to the bottom. 36.62, we come to the bottom there, 36.51 level, and then we want to always come to the top, 36.40, and then we just work yourself down, 36.21, 35.95, 35.73, and then we'll come right here to this 35.48 level. Then we can tag right there again at that 35.34. But again, you can see here how you're 21 days up, 50 days up, 100 days up, 200 days up, 8-day up, and your price is above everything. So got to give it the benefit of the doubt. As long as you're above that 8-day, the price is going to be sideways to up kind of an action. All right, here we have silver. Now, you can still see silver. What we had here is not as good as what the gold is. We had this negative divergence, but now you got to see it played right on out here. We went right back up there again. Okay, so basically just showing massive, massive strength kind of a situation. Now we made this high at 43, a 43 level. So I was always looking, you always look for those round numbers at that 43.50 and then 44, and then you can work yourself up to 45 level. Very, very easy. But again, has to be a lot to do with what the Fed is doing, what they're going to say, and what kind of language you're going to use, and what it is going forward kind of a situation. Now, silver has had a massive run here, same way with gold, so we got to be just a little bit careful. So what we're watching here on the upside, obviously, as we watching here, this 43.23, and then we'll be watching that 43 level. Then then you can go at that 43.50, and then work yourself up to that 44, possibly 45 level. Now, downside here, what you want to do is watch yesterday's low, 42.47, and then right here, 42.15, that's your 8-day. We start losing that. We come down to 41.89 here. We'll come down here at 41.33, and then we have this level here at 41.14 level. Then we just come to the top, looking at 40.86, so we come to the bottom. You're looking at 40.55, and then here's going to be the key at that 40.44 level. But look and see how nice this chart is. Very, very bullish. Bottom left, upper right. This is exactly how you want this nice chart. And you can see how nice that 50-day was holding, and now we're run up. So give it the benefit of the doubt. As long as you're above that 8-day, it's going to be sideways to up kind of an action. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil and natural gas. All right, here we have crude oil, here we have natural gas. Okay, so here we go. All right, so we got the old crude ski going here. Now you can see here we held this nice. And now look, we have a low, okay, higher low, and now we're back above that 100-day. Okay, very, very nice. So downside, you want to watch that. Let's see if I can get it in there. 64.43 level. That's going to be key. Then we come to the top of that candle at 63.98. Then we're looking for 63.39. That's your 21-day, and then your 8-day at 62.96. All right, we lose that. We come to the bottom, 62.52. 62.21, and then we have 61.69, and then 61.45. That is the big boy right there. Okay, again, if we lose that 61.45, then here's going to be your big target. Is going to be that 59.74. We lose that, your big target right there, 57.74. You lose that, big target, 55.12. All right, now upside. Okay, 50-day. Got to respect that 50-day. Look in the past. Okay, into it, above it, couldn't hold it. Same thing, couldn't hold it. So give this 50-day the benefit of the doubt that that's going to stop it. Okay, 64.96, that's your 50-day. Then we have 66.03 and then 67.04. Now, this is a lot of stuff to do here with the Middle East as far as the crude oil supply. You're plenty supply. This is a lot to do, I say, with the Middle East. There's always some kind of a war, some kind of a this, some kind of a that, something going on here. Now they're talking about using human hostages. So this could be a spike high, just like we had in the past. All right. So when you had this inverse head and shoulders pattern, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, I said it's going to the 200-day, and that's where she went. This was all that war premium. Okay, Israel, Iran situation, but never once they get it solved or even close to solved, this is what happens. Because that never lasts out there. All it does is they just blow a bunch of smoke, they kill a bunch of people, knock down a bunch of buildings, and then it comes right on off. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to a guy like me, but hey, that's how it is. So we got a high, lower high, and a lower high situation. So we're still downtrending, but if we start cracking above that 50-day and this price channel and that 200-day, that reverses that, and then we take that bad boy higher. Okay, sitting at 53, plenty of room to run. The green now is over your red, so this is looking very, very positive on the upside situation on how we have it. Now we have this kind of like a bear flag situation, pulled back down, but now that's negated because now we made this high. But again, watch that 50-day, very, very crucial. Remember, the API report will be out today at 4:30, and I'll have that for you tomorrow morning for sure. Okay, now to guess, I'm long the UNG. Love the UNG, okay? So it's a really good trade. It's only sitting about, what is it sitting at now? 13.17. I trade 5,000 shares, and I'm also building a position, okay, for taking this here long into the end of November. Now you can see here we had a nice big bottoming tail, and now we're back above that 50-day. So downside, 306. That's going to be very, very key right there. 303. Top of this candle, 3 flat, and then we have your 21-day 293. Okay, we lose that. We'll come very simply. Look at that, 286. Come down here, 277 is your gap, 274 is your fill, okay, bottom 265, and then 262. But right now, looking very, very good. So if you want to watch the upside, 313. So how to get 313? All you got to do is look to the left of the chart here. What do you got? 313. See this? 313, 313. Always look to the left of the chart. That's going to be all your resistance levels. We crack above it, it's going to be, next level is going to be 316. Next level, 319. Come right up here, 329. You venture above that, then we're going to hit this right here. We'll be looking for that 349 level. So let's just see what happens if this keeps rising and what the reaction is if it hits that 319 level. That's going to be upside. You crack above it, the 100-day is going to be the next target. You crack above it, 200-day next target. Downside, 50-day. Got to hold it. You lose it. You got the 8-day. You lose it. You got the 21-day. Just that simple. Okay? 55, plenty of room to run to the upside. The green is over your red. It never did cross over. So momentum is still back here on the upside. Now, if you watch it, I did seasonality charts here a couple weeks back. Just check it out. Seasonality on crude oil, natural gas, gold, silver, and I did that on the indexes. Right now, natural gas is in play. You're going to play till end of November. Crude oil is still in play here about the first, second week of October. Then you want to do a little short ski on your crude. Unless, there's some kind of a catalyst, some kind of disruption, some kind of a war. Who knows in this world that we're living in here. Now, I forgot Ethereum, so let's just put that up back here on the old charts. All right, here's the Ethereum ETF, 2 times leverage. Very, very nice. I apologize. I should have been right after Bitcoin, but I guess it wasn't. All right, so here we go. This is what we're watching. You can see here where it came right on down, below the 21-day, hit the 8-day, and the 8-day stopped it. That's why you trade the charts, okay? So what you want to do on the downside is watch right there, 152.62. You want to watch the next level is 150.09. Nicely how it held. Now, we start losing all that. Then we come to the bottom there, 148.75, and then we come right here to the bottom of this candle, which just look at right here is this 136.91. Okay, we lose that. We got the 50-day sitting at 130. We got a gap here and a fill, another gap and a fill kind of a situation, but really watch that candle right there at that 127.69. Now, upside, well, very, very nice. Look at here. High, 156. That's what you're looking at. Next top of that candle, 158. And then we rallied all the way up here at that 168.49. Okay, so what do we have over here? You had 167, 168. We're looking for the next level at 171. It couldn't quite make it there. Okay, but that would be it, 171.40. And then we'll come top of that candle, 174.97, 175.80. And then we look at old sticky here, 183. And then 160, 183. And then we look up here, 186. And then we have that 188.73 retest. Okay. But right now, just kind of a sideways action, kind of a chop city all the way down. But that's how these work. This in Bitcoin, it doesn't really have that really nice, good flow kind of a situation. It's just going to be choppy. That's why it's just really a great, great trader. Now, when we look here on the weekly chart here, look how nice this is. Okay. We're still holding that 8-day, and that's going to be key at 149.80. That's going to be very, very key. So we're holding it so far. All these weeks, we're holding it, and that's really good. If you lose it, you could come all the way down to that 50, down to the 21-day. But right now, we're holding that 8-day. Very, very nice. Okay, let's take a look here now at the indexes. Here we have the indexes. But again, good rally all the way on up. Okay, just stair-stepping situation. Came down, holding that 8-day. That's going to be key. 45.7 to 716. Next leg, 45, 454. Then we have your 50-day. And then we have your right here, your retest at 44,579. And we have your 100-day. We have your 200-day. We have a gap. We have a fill. Same old shit day after day. Okay. It just keeps wanting to melt up. Eventually, this melt up will come off. Don't know when. We got negative divergence going here. Doesn't seem to care. Just seems like we want to melt up. Okay. Now, upside, well, you got to watch that price channel. Okay. 46,137. That is key. You crack above that, where could you go? You could go to 47,000. You could go to 48,000. You can go to 50,000. We don't know when the melt up is going to end. That's why this is basically a trader's market until we get some kind of a correction and send this back down to earth. Okay. Now here we have the S&P, same scenario, just a complete melt up, just little baby candles going on up here. Never last 66.26. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes to 6,700. Okay, that's what they've been predicting. That's what they've been low wanting. Let's just see if it goes all the way to 6,700. Still have this negative divergence, so keep right on top of that. Downside, got to hold that 65.52. Right there, 21-day, and then we have your 50-day, 63.99, and then we have 63.43, your retest. Come down to the bottom of this candle here at 62.12. Then we have 100-day, we have your 200-day, we have this gap, and we have this fill, kind of a situation. But this is just nosebleed. I mean, nosebleed with the negative divergence. So trade this market. Been a great trading market here. Bitcoin today, very, very good with the BITX. Amazon, great trade. Meta, great trade. Apple, great trade. Okay, Tesla, really, really good trade ever since he bought $1 billion worth of shares. Okay, crude oil's been really good. Natural gas been really good. So there's a lot of good trades here. So to me, I don't care if the market goes up or down. It doesn't mean nothing. I just want to make sure that you're aware that this is absolute nosebleed situation. Okay, same with the Nasdaq. Okay. It running, but I'm telling you, this is not going to end well on none of this. I can tell you that right now. Just not going to end. When we get a correction, I think it's going to be a really good correction. Now, right now, in this time of the year, you might get a 2% correction, something on that order. That'd be fine. But I think after the first year, something that's going to come around is only going to take one little thing. And I think you're going to have a good correction, maybe all the way down to 10% at least. Okay, right here, 22,397. I think they want to test that 23,000. Looks like it is, but look at these small little candles, okay? Nothing really big, nothing really going. Bottom downside, watch that 8-day, watch that 21-day, watch that 50-day, okay? We have the price channel at 20.095. We have right here your 100-day, then we have your 200-day sitting right on there, okay? We have a gap filled. The same thing that we've had here now for I don't know how many weeks. Negative divergence, and negative divergence. So again, trader's market. When markets got down here, see when you have that overbought, this was your buy and hold. So trade this, okay? But again, use stop losses. For God's sakes, use some stop losses in there. Put money in your pocket. That's the whole key of trading. Consistent money. All right, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here tomorrow morning. We're going to do it all over again. Trade what's in front of you, not what you want.